Are you a romantic?
I guess so, yes, in some way. I think I'm not overly romantic. I have had difficulties with romances, and I had some good experiences as well. But I guess I just told you about my parents, and they met for love at first sight, and they're still together from different parts of the world. My mother's Icelandic, my father's Spanish. So I think there's always hope for that love will conquer in some way, you know. And I think in whatever, you know, whether love to your children or to your spouse or to your parents or whatever it is.
Excuse me. I also do believe in love at first sight. I tell you very quickly. Toronto Film Festival. I'm sitting in a cafe. The door opens. A guy comes in, I see him from far, I know I married this guy, I was married at the time, but anyway, so I knew it. 3 days later, he asks me if I marry him. And then I said, why did it take you so long? Because I knew it in the moment. That's why I could so much emotionally follow, you know, your protagonist, so to say, and that you have a love of your life, you know. Do you think that you made this romantic, beautiful movie now, it needed some time to grow for you, like 20 years before you couldn't have made it?
No, I don't think so. I think I have a different relationship with love today. I have a different relationship with myself, you know, today.
Yes.
And I think the need of telling such a story, it's also about, you know, like it's also about closure. I think the further you go in life, you feel more. You don't think about this when you're younger. You might make mistakes, you might treat people the way you shouldn't treat them, and then as you age, it comes back to you. And it's surprisingly how strongly it comes back to you, that you feel or resolving closure and forgiveness and such things, you know. And I think it is not necessarily, I don't see like my protagonist has been thinking about this. I mean, it comes up regularly. He goes through another marriage, which you see a little bit of in the film, and it's not a bad, it's just not a good, specifically good one. He lives, but that's always staying with him. And I love the moment, from the moment I read the book, that he's just on a journey, he's in a school, he's having fights about politics, and boom, you meet somebody. And it just changes your life. And I have had those kind of experiences, as you explained, and it's not, it's almost like you can't escape it. You have to go and try that path, and so yes, I do connect quite a lot with it, you know.
Because I think
and I won't say actually, I won't say sometimes I've had those kind of moments, and have, you know, I've met a person in a train, and the train was going, and you see an eye, and there's something, and you might never see her again. You didn't catch that moment. So there are moments there, you know, that you don't catch, and you know, it goes away from you. You don't think about it because you don't have enough connection to follow up on it. So I do think those moments exist.
Absolutely. And also, you know, I think very often when you look around, people live the compromise, you know. They don't go like Christopher for, oh, that was the love of my life, even if it was short. It's about the emotions you have. It's not about the length, right? And so I think it's good when you watch a movie like that, you rethink your life. You think, wait a second, am I living in a compromise the whole time? Did you think that too?
Yes, and I think I actually have a lot of reactions, especially in Iceland, older men actually, because people tend to think this is more for women than film, because men have maybe less romantic outwards kind of expressions, but a lot of older men crying in the cinema, just something hits them very hard. I think this is the compromised life, you know. But we all compromise in some way, but I think Christopher also has compromised for a very, very long time, and now that he's come to a place where there's no turning back, it's either now and that nothing like COVID or anything will stop him. Like, now I have to do this, and he needs to understand. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's also, I believe that sometimes you feel something is out there, something has happened in your life that you know of, though you don't know it. There is this kind of a connection with the unknown. I think we have, and I do think Christopher is not as surprised in the end as we might think.
Yeah.
You know.
Though I need one question more, please,
give
because I have to talk about your son. I mean, the whole cast is fantastic, but man, is he ever good. I read that he didn't want to be normally in front of the camera, but he is there and you think he's not an actor. That's him.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
How was that working with him?
It was wonderful, but as I said, you know, he wasn't. All my kids have been acting. He did it when he was a kid, and he didn't want to do it ever again. He didn't like it. He's in fine arts in Holland now, studying. Mm-hmm. But there was something about this character that lays so directly to him, and it's actually my casting director suggested this, and I didn't think he was going to show up, which he did in the end, and to everybody's surprise, in a way, there was no turning back, you know, and also it just, and I don't think, I think I am saying, of course I could have done this with someone else and it would be wonderful, but also because it is so close, and it's so close to him, and he's so close to me, it becomes an even more personal storytelling through him, you know.